Okay, so I would like to start this lesson going over the quick write for today. So the quick write gave you this image of like a classroom. And then it said in this classroom we have a red group, a blue group, and an orange group. And then it asks you, think about the location of the chairs, right? Like this is in the top left corner, this is in the bottom left corner, top right corner, bottom right corner. The green chair from the red group, so that means this one over here, so this desk should be paired up with which color from the blue group. So the key here is thinking about location. Thinking about the location. So this green chair is in the top left corner, right? Which chair is also in the top left corner in this blue group? That would be this yellow one right here. So I would pair up, let's use pink since we haven't used. I will pair up this person and this person. Okay, because they're in the same location, just in a different group. That's what this quick write was all about. And now we're gonna see why we had to do this quick write. Okay, so over here we have corresponding angles. So the definition of corresponding angles is when two lines are crossed by a transversal, the angles in the matching corners are called corresponding angles. So that's the definition. This is my definition. A little side note. If those two lines are parallel, then the corresponding angles are congruent. Okay. Now, matching angles. Matching corners, right? That's why we did this quick right up here. These were matching corners, right? They were in the matching corner. This whole lesson is all about identifying matching corners. So, we have two lines here, and they're parallel because the symbol tells me so. And we have a transversal. Now I'm gonna number my angles just to make it easier for us to discuss. So this is angle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so we can think of these as two groups. We can even draw like if we had tables. This is table 1 or group 1. This is table 2, group 2. All right, so we have our two groups, right? Okay, now which corner matches? So I'm gonna use my highlighter for this. Which corner matches the corner that angle 1 is in this bottom group? That's gonna be this corner over here, corner 5 or angle 5. That means, so can I make this smaller? Yeah. So that means that angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding because they're in the matching corners. Let's look at another example, let's say. So now, which corner matches where angle 2 is sitting in this bottom group down here? That's gonna be corner 6. So that means that angle 2 and angle 6 are corresponding, right? Let's keep going. Which corner, let's see, let's use this one. Which corner matches the corner that angle 3 is at down here? It's angle 7. So that means that angle 3 and angle 7 are corresponding. And now lastly, let's use yellow. No, because when I write it, it's not gonna show. Let's use this orange. Angle 4 matches, its corner matches with angle 8. That means that those are corresponding. So angle 4 and angle 8. See, we're just matching corners here. Think of it as two groups and you're just matching corners. Now, you can pause this, reflect, take notes down, sketch this out. If you don't have different colors, you can make a little mark like, say like hearts, circles, squares, you know, something to show you, visualize that these are matching. All right, now, since these two red lines are parallel, my corresponding angles are congruent. That means angle 1 and angle 5, I'm gonna erase this, are congruent. That means that angle 2 and angle 6 are congruent. That means that angle 3 and angle 7 are congruent. And that means that angle 4 and angle 8 are congruent. Okay? Why? Because we identified these to be corresponding. They're in the matching corners and the lines are parallel. So that means we can say that those are congruent. Okay, again, you can pause it and take some notes down before I go to the first example. All right, so we have here example number 1, right? So example number 1 gave me the measurement for this angle right here, angle that measures 130. Again, if you can just visualize it without thinking of groups, that's perfectly fine. I'm gonna guide it a little bit with my groups. Let me use a different color. So this is my top group, this is my bottom group, and the corner that matches, so this 130 is on the top left corner right here. The one that matches it is the top left corner over here. So that means that this is gonna equal 130. That's it. I mean, if I was to ask you how much does this equal, then you know, supplementary angles, vertical angles. Pretty easy to find all the other ones. All right, so now down here, example number 2. Again, you don't have to draw your groups if you can just see it right away. I like to draw it. So in this top group, the 50 degrees is on the top right corner. So that means on the bottom right here is going to be in the top right corner as well. So this also measures 50. Because remember, matching corners are congruent. Corresponding angles are congruent. Okay, pause it, take some notes down if you need to. Gonna go to the next example. So this example number 3. I'm gonna do my little groups. So the 120 that's being given to me is on the bottom right corner. So up here, I'm gonna say this is my bottom right corner as well. This is 120. My corresponding angles, therefore they're congruent because it's telling me that they're parallel. All right, next example. Okay, so did I switch the direction of the transverse? Okay, good. So far the transversals have been looking like in this direction, right? Going like this. But a transversal can also go this way. All right, so first let's decide if these two are corresponding. If you can see it right away, that's great. I'm gonna draw my two groups just to confirm or to double check if these are corresponding. So in the top group, the given measurement or the measurement that I have information on is on the bottom right corner. This bottom group, bottom right corner. That means that these are corresponding. So since they're corresponding and the lines are parallel, they have to be congruent. So I can actually set up my little equation. I can say 5x minus 3 is equal to 2x plus 6. Why? Because I identify them to be corresponding, and corresponding are always congruent. Another word for congruent is equal. So now I have this equation, and I'm going to solve for x. My first move is going to be to move all my variables to one side. So when I say move, that's in quotation marks because I'm not just going to grab this and move it. I have to cancel it out from that side. So I'm going to say minus 2x because I'm using inverse operations. Whatever you do to one side of the equation, you do to the other. So I'm going to say minus 2x over here as well. And let's see what we get. That'll cancel out. And 5x minus 2x is 3x minus 3 equals, let me bring this down, 6. Okay? Remember, my goal is to get the x all by itself. Now I'm going to add 3 on both sides to get rid of that negative 3. That'll cancel out. And let me bring down my 3x. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9, I said 9 and I wrote 3. 9. And now my last step to get this x all by itself. Remember that when you have a number and a variable together like this, they're being multiplied. So I got to do the opposite. So I got to divide by 3. I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. Cancel that out, and x is equal to 3. So if I was being asked to solve for x, this is what I would do. So very quickly, we identify that they're corresponding angles because they're in the same corner. And that means that they're congruent. So we set them equal to each other, used inverse operations to solve for x, and to get it all by itself. All right, at this time you can pause the video, take some notes down, and then